I'm not excited about hooking all this solar stuff up. That's something that I've been dreading, but like it as much as I do. Here it is, babies. So at the top we have literally everything that the bus has to do with as far as like power and solar and freshwater tank levels and fuel tank levels, all kind of stuff like will be monitored here. It is insane what you can do. You can even control it remotely in different locations if it's hooked to the internet, which is so cool. This is our hot water heater. And this is our diesel heater for the winter. So this is our cluster. Eventually we're gonna have another thermostat here for our mini split. But that's that. Now let me show you the brain. All right, and moving on, we have 700 amp hours worth of power, which is plenty for us. It will be more than enough for what we need in this bus. Here's our AC inverter, converts DC to AC power. And then here's our solar charge controller, which converts the sun's energy to usable power. Down here is our DC block, all our DC loads with appropriate fuses, so it is fireproof. Very excited about that. And all our AC loads. And then up here we have another battery monitor. It just tells us basic information, how long until the batteries will run down, percent wise, all that. Just another location to view that. It'd be easier to look at here in the bed versus getting up and going over there. So that's pretty much it. So it's super cool now, like walking through the bus and being able to like literally flip on the switches and turn the lights on without worrying about where the power is coming from and all that. Literally it's powered by the sun. So I mean, to people that have been doing this, it's very normal, but I've never done this before and I think it's extremely cool. So I'm kind of geeking out over it. We're doing it, guys. It's almost done. This bus is almost finished, and literally, woo! I'm so pumped about this. Straight up, over 2 years now. Literally, no time off, guys. I'm so ready for this journey to be over and start living some life and enjoying the fruits of our labor. Okay, one more thing, and then I'll get off. I installed exterior outlets under the bus. So, charging my phone outside the bus. There ain't no extension cords. Powered by the sun, baby. Today, we cut a hole in the side of the bus for this box that we're in. That is our tankless water heater. And I'm not excited about cutting a big hole right here, but for anyone interested, this is what we got. This was where I was hoping I could cut out the hole and avoid getting into this. The problem is the sink stops like right here, so I cannot cut this because the sink's on the other side of this kitchen sink. This is not enough space for that, which means I'm gonna have to cut down into these, which is a big problem because that requires metal fabrication. This is what I'm gonna have to do for every single one. These are custom little ribs that I have to cut out, weld, clean the metal up, and repaint, and that has to be done on for sure 3 of these on both sides. So it could have been quick, but now it's probably gonna be all day and I have to repaint this stuff. So all right, guys, here it is installed. We changed our mind about cutting all of this rubber rail. That was actually going to be a lot of extra work and a lot of potential places for water leaks. So what we did instead was took weather treated wood, ripped it down the width of the rubber rail, and for the rubber rail parts we made like little custom pieces that fits in there, and we used seam sealer between the wood and the bus everywhere we installed it. So that's not caulk, that's seam sealer, and it's really heavy duty, really water resistant. And we still are going to paint that with an oil-based white paint, but we don't have that yet. So Anyway, doing it this way, I think, you know, obviously this is supposed to sit flush here, but doing it this way I think is a lot better to prevent water from getting in around all this. So happy with how it turned out. It's gonna do. I'll show you the inside. All right, here it is inside. Works out pretty well. We're gonna have a water softener here. We'll get all that plumbed up, and throughout the bus it'll go. All right, guys, our water tanks came in. We went with 125 gallons of fresh and 100 gallons of gray. Originally, I was going to put all the water tanks here, which is why we couldn't have large tanks. But so many of you guys recommended getting large water tanks that I went back here and done some looking. And we have plenty of room in the back of the bus here to utilize. So we're going to put the fresh here, gray there, and our water pump's going to pump, obviously, from here to this area. So I don't think we're really going to be able to use 125 gallons. We don't plan on boondocking for more than a week and a half, 2 weeks, but it's there if we need it. And we'll have a lot of extra water for long showers on the weekend getaways. So that'll be a plus. I made up all the hardware to mount the tanks under the bus, and that is it. So I'm gonna get under there now, get all of this stuff mounted in place so we can put the fresh and gray water tank under the bus. And hopefully by tomorrow evening, it's kind of far-fetched, but if we had some running water in the bus, it's gonna be that much closer to moving in. So let's get it. What is that? Is that water tanks under the bus? Yes, it is. So quick update for you guys. Yesterday was a long day. Turns out there's a lot more fabrication that needs to be done because I mounted the tanks, and when I filled them with water, between the supports the tank was sagging, so I had to take the tanks back out, completely re-weld more supports down the center, reinstall the tanks, refill it with water. Now it doesn't sag and it's good to go. Homies, it has been a night. We have all the plumbing hooked up minus the hot water. This is the pump. I'm still going to insulate these for the winter, but for now this is going to work. Pump is hooked up. Freshwater tank is almost ready to go. And we have all our water lines ran pretty much everywhere except for to the water heater and to our kitchen sink, but everything else has water supply. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad this is coming to an end. I still have to do all of the drain lines into the gray water tank, but we're on the downhill slope, and I'm so glad, because working under this bus is like the worst thing ever. So almost there, guys, almost there. Guys, I just welded up this frame that is going to go under the bus right inside there. You can see where the fan is going to line up with this expanded metal. And so now we're going to get under the bus, mount this thing, make sure it all fits right, and if it does, I'm going to take this back out, paint it, and then put it in there for good and move forward. Guys, this mini split is giving me all it has. I cannot put the mini split there where it's supposed to go because this exhaust is in the way. So undone all of the brackets that hold the exhaust, and I have this lift. This was on there so extremely tight that I had to get a very long bar with a lot of leverage to get it off, and over 20 years this has pretty much welded itself together. And getting this pipe off of here so I can move the exhaust and put the mini split where it's supposed to go. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna have to pick back up on this tile. It's already past the limit. Alright homies, we got the condenser mounted, everything is good. We finally got that stinking exhaust off. That, don't get me started, oh my gosh. Alright, so now that we know this fits, I'm going to take this off, unmount the frame of this thing, paint it. While it's drying, I'm going to install the head unit, and we are going to be rocking and rolling.